Strangely enough, here we go again. I am Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio. The People's Network presents Outlaw Radio on a Wednesday night, a hump day edition off top instead of the normal Monday kind of introduction to things. Welcome to the show, man. I'm so happy to be here. It's always an extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance. Live from the luxurious Chocolate City Studios in beautiful Northwest Milwaukee, home of the thief, land of the slave. Mr. Carter, what's popping with you? What's going on with you, bro? I gotta take care of it.
Got it. All right, y'all. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the coach, the teacher, the hood healer, the ghetto whiz doctor, your holistic health and wellness coach. You better come on in. What up, kid?
Man, we exist in kind of like a realm of trying to encourage positivity for the city. I want to say, first of all, happy graduation to all the recent high school graduates. I see people putting their kids up. It's graduation season, so if you got a child, son or a daughter, I don't do the non-binary type shit. If you got a son or a daughter who made that, who accomplished that, congratulations to them. I hope that they understand that this is just the beginning, but most definitely peace and love to those youngsters who just kind of crossed the threshold and graduated from high school and got them a diploma, especially if they're kids who are black from the north side of Milwaukee.
Word.
Yeah, man. I got a daughter who graduated, so I know how that day feels. I'm still worried about the boy. Rel, I see you in the building.
Man. You ain't worried about it.
What's happening, man?
He doing good. He doing great.
Lord Jesus, help us. What's up with you, Rel?
Chilling, man. Blessed to be here. My son graduated yesterday, but I'm proud of him. I was worried about him, and he legit graduated by the skin of his ass, man. So, but he did what he had to do and was able to cross that stage. So I'm proud of him. But now it's real world time. So you lack you slack in the real world, you miss out on money.
Right. Well, and especially in light of where a lot of our youth are right now, in terms of, because we're gonna talk about a lot of shit tonight. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. And one of those topics will be our youth because of the Stoli documentary that's out here. So that's definitely going to be a topic, and that's why I'm giving it up for the youngsters who are, actually getting some things done. Because the focus is always on the kids who ain't doing well, right? It's always it's just like us as adults. The focus, as fathers, the focus is on the deadbeat dad. It ain't on the real daddy who handle his business all the time, right? Give it up for real fathers. Father's Day is on the way.
Right.
All the sons' basketball games, all the sons' football games, running them to the practices in and out of town. Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, shout out to all the real fathers. Real men in the building, right? Real men. Shout out to the ladies, too. It's Outlaw Radio, man. Hit us up, 262-202-5131. Outlaw Radio, I also have to say a rest in peace from my neighborhood for the loss of two very, very important brothers who were well respected in our neighborhood and very accomplished. The brother Germ and the brother Markey, who made their transition over the weekend. I have to say rest in peace to them, condolences to the family, and peace be still in the neighborhood, right? And if you know, it's one of those kinds of things. So I have to definitely give it up for them brothers.
Hey.
But man, it's Outlaw Radio, man. We on Mondays, Wednesdays, usually. Tuesdays I do the Big Black Sports Show. Thursday, and lately I've been having some crazy ass editions of Outlaw Nation. Go back and check the one from last week when I had DJ Toxic T. I had the Sister Jazzy the week before that. And shout out to y'all, man, because y'all support your boy. I ain't gonna lie. I always say it's 4 shows, right? Like, I don't expect you to watch all 4 of them. Just watch 2 of them, right? Like, but cats, it's some people who support us who be on. I see their names for every show. So I'm just like, shout out to y'all, right? Shout out to y'all. But man, Outlaw Radio, where do we go from here? Serious shit. A serious question, really. And I usually try to come up with something for the show that's real clever and it's a double entendre and there's things behind it. And no, I'm actually asking this question. Where do we go from here? Black Milwaukee. Please call in. Please hit the chat room. Let me know how you feel. I know everybody has an opinion on this, but it's a cold game right now that's going on in this city. And I realize because our energy on here is always about let's tell the truth, right? Let's not sugarcoat anything. Let's trust that the people who listen to the show are intellectually gifted, right? Like they're black people who are in the know. And so I never would want to insult their intelligence, but I don't want to be negative because I see a lot of things being done in the community by individuals, like things like initiatives that they're trying to put into place.
Right.
The only thing I'm saying is none of this shit's working. That is the bottom line in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. However, there is a greater plan in play. And it is the removal of us, the further subjugation of us as people of color. You can believe it if you want to. We have to start having some very fucking serious conversations right goddamn now. Right now. Put the babies to bed, right? It's time to talk like grown folks, right? Amongst and I'm talking about, I always say intentional solidarity, and I mean that shit. There's some things that we need to question right now that we think are good for us. And there's some things that we know that we think aren't good for us that we question. Do that make sense? We got to flip that around. I'm going to say that one more time. There's some things we think that are good for us. And we don't question it. But there's some things that we question that probably are good for us. Right? We got to figure out how to move them pieces around on the board, man. How y'all doing, man? Outlaw Radio, man, on a Wednesday night hump day edition. Word mob in the building. Kamar, what you think about this? Where we going from here, man?
Hey, and when is it hating when you talk about what you feel ain't right? You know what I mean? At what point is it not hating, or is it at what point is it hating? You know what I'm saying? Because see, we should be able to talk about what's real in the community. That's what we here for. That's what we here. I mean, it's for the upliftment of the community. If it's an important subject, everybody should have some kind of opinion. Right?
Right.
Everybody should have some kind of opinion. Everybody should have some kind of input. You know what I mean? To help make this situation better.
Is that not the problem, that everybody got an opinion and there's too many chiefs and not enough Indians?
Well, I mean, at some point, yeah. But at the same time, you know what I mean? It's a lot of people that's out here that's supposed to be chiefs acting like Indians in certain situations.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want to stand up and be the leader that they're supposed to be. Common council. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to. You're not being the leaders that's all supposed to be. You know, y'all supposed to be working for the community. You ain't doing nothing for the community. Nobody's asking nothing about what the community may need. And then we got some leaders in the community that don't want to speak up for the community because they trying to be right up under the common council motherfuckers to get some money or something. You know what I mean? So this shit is deep, man. You know what I mean? That's why I say, at what point is it not hating? You got some people that's out here that say they helping the community, but here's one. This is what I like to say. A lot of motherfuckers out here praying on the community. They not praying for the community.
Okay. All right with that.
That's what I should have said, and I should have just left it at that, right?
Right. Outlaw Radio, man. It is what it is. Whatever. See, let me go back to what we used to do back in the days. We used to do a disclaimer on Outlaw Radio that went like this. The opinions expressed by individuals on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker that said it. Know who to be mad at, right? Like so. So whatever somebody says, you got a problem with them, but just do it respectfully. And you know, like I say, creating comfortable spaces for us to do this. And there's a rabbit hole here. Like for people to say, well, it's just another show where they criticize Common Council or they blame everything on the system, or they say white people. This is not that kind of show. This is not that kind of show. This is a show that we like to invest in critical thinking. And with the understanding that we all understand the political structure of what we deal with, the systematic structure of what we deal with. I'm speaking to us as a people to say, what are we going to do? Right? Not oh, well, what should we be saying? Because we can say, oh, Common Council provides no leadership, which is entirely true. But if you but if you look
Well,
at
hey,
it
but
from
how long can we keep saying it without sounding redundant?
right, like so I don't want people to think it's just that. It's George Clinton say not just knee deep, she was totally deep, right? So we want to be deeper than just saying they're not providing leadership. Let's talk about what they're doing that is the opposite of strong leadership, right? So and if somebody knows any of these individuals, you can tag them. I mean, none of them happen to be friends of the show. And I got over, I don't know, 15, 1,600 friends on Facebook. Now, I know they're not real friends, but none of them are aldermen. None of them are like sitting politicians, maybe except for DC and Mandela or whatever. But I'm not clout chasing on that type of shit. What I'm saying is, let's have this conversation because it has to be had right now. Do you understand right now we in a situation where we failing on both ends of our community, meaning the young people are failing and the old people are failing. So the in between is just chaotic, right? And I don't want to hear same cliche ass answers. I don't want to hear let's have another social service program where we give them coloring books and take them on field trips, right? To me that's just that surface shit. Real, what you think, man? It's chaos out here. What you think about it?
I mean, man, I just think about what I can do. You know what I'm saying? And I think what happens is we look for an immediate change or immediate solution, whereas we got to try to maybe bust this shit down incrementally. Like that's why I write my books. That's why my first book is 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope, teaching people how to think. I'm not telling you what to think, but I'm teaching you how to manage your emotions, how to manage your perception, how to critically think, how to have important conversations objectively without letting your emotions fuck it all up. That's the first book. Because first I gotta teach people how to think. Then I drop my gratitude journal to kind of help them boost their emotions. But the other book is that 40 ways to get $40. That's teaching people how to get money because and it's teaching women how to get money from home, because I believe that eventually we have to solve the problem of the imbalance. The fact that there's maybe a single parent household that's overworked and not able to raise their kids. So if we could teach them how to make money from home, maybe they can have their selves home. I was about to say something else. Maybe they can have their asses home and raise their kids.
So,
You know what I'm
so
saying?
let me say this too.
Yeah.
Rail is an author, and we support Rail writing a book. But we don't sell his book on here. So I don't want people to think, oh, they
Oh,
just trying to
right.
get me to Baidu book. That's why they coming from with all this bullshit. No, we support Rail. We acknowledge his contribution, and we always want to promote you picking up his book. But this is not,
Right.
it's not, we're going to sell Rail book.
Right.
Kamar sells all kinds of products, and we support him selling it. But we don't sell them. You know what I
Right.
mean? They
Right.
sell themselves.
Right.
Sean Moore is saying, what we talking about? He said he lost. Well, what we're talking about is what needs to happen right now at this point in our community as a people. And I'm saying all this because there's no movement in Milwaukee right now in terms of grassroots political organizing. I'm saying political organizing. I'm not saying there's no grassroots movements where people say, no, I go to the Sherman Phoenix, I'm a vegan, I eat clean. People say, no, I pray to the east every day, I'm pure, I'm a, whatever. I'm saying where do we need to go right now, because this political system it has defeated us. I did a show a couple years back called Milwaukee is Active. There was a spirit of activism. There was a spirit here where people were out in the streets protesting. They were speaking out against things. There were people who had chosen to create movements and lead organizations, whatever, what have you. All that shit's gone right now. Who's like what was it? What was it? The People's Revolution who marched 200 some days in a row.
Yeah.
It's been about that long since we had one, and I understand there was things that happened that kind of removed certain individuals from certain positions. It's all relative. But I want to know right now, we got this what is it, the Milwaukee 17, whatever it is.
Not a phone.
You heard that shit that time, huh, Kamar?
I heard it that time.
He heard it that time. Couldn't keep it from him. My brother was good. You live on Outlaw Radio. What's going on with you, man? Is that it? Is that required? Is that you know you got to have a job to talk about violence? So now, okay, so because I got my chat room on deck, right? So welcome to the show. It's Sean Moore. If people don't know who this is Sean Moore. My chat room is on fire because Ticey Gotsi said off top. She asked a very pivotal question. She said it's hard. These kids don't listen. How can we get them to listen to us? The leaders are terrified of the youth. So we can go ahead and whip it around and just really start talking about the youth. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Um. Right. Well, hold on. Now, I gotta say this though. I'm a little perturbed by the celebratory nature of because I want to talk about the Stoli documentary because this is on YouTube and ironically I don't know how y'all feel about this, but there's this white guy coincidentally who goes into the neighborhood with some I guess alleged Kia boys, right? And hold on once, I'm getting a lot of interference in my background. Okay. So but so he interviews them and he talks with them and for them like Sean said, they're not dumb. They're not unintelligent. They are actually conscious of what they're doing, right? So this makes me have a problem with them because I feel like now they've drank the Kool-Aid, right? Like and I feel like these kids they smart, man. They know that this is bullshit. And they have a lot more options than I ever had growing up. So I'm putting part of this on them. Go ahead. Go ahead.
hold any fault. I'm not saying that, but the generation above them and the generation above, what have they taught them?
Okay.
Except how to go to jail.
That's a
Nobody taught them shit.
That's a very interesting question because I don't remember black people not being dysfunctional. Because look, even though my parents were from the South and they came from Mississippi and it was old school and all this, there was a lot of dysfunctional shit that they brought to the table with them, right? There was like, so what did I really learn from the grown people? I mean, I learned to get my ass whooped. Obviously, I learned you do what I say, not what I do, which in
You
it,
learn consequence. You learn punishment. You learn there was consequence for your actions.
I also learned,
Taught them that, bro.
but I learned a lot of other shit too that was It was bad.
Smart though. We haven't though.
Okay.
See, and that's the thing, KB. Most of these people talking about, well, this is the solution. This is the solution. We ain't been in the house. You go to the house now, but where were you 6, 7 years ago when they was on Ritalin and they mama put them in front of the TV to play Grand Theft Auto all day?
Okay.
Now
Okay.
they living Grand Theft Auto out.
Hmm.
You see, this did not just start now, man.
No,
You
kids been bad ever since I was a kid.
the leadership has been in place for decades.
Okay.
The leadership has been in place for decades.
It has. And it's been the same thing over and over. I guess that's what made me want to do this show.
Get worse, bro.
Okay.
Every 4 to 8, bro. Every 4 years they get worse.
This is I've been here a long time. This is as bad as I've seen this city. In terms of because there's a spirit of ruthlessness with this shit. Like, and like once again, when I see these kids, 17, 18, 19, I remember back when I was young and I was wilding out at that age. The crazy thing is I knew what I was doing. I knew exactly what I was doing, and I didn't have nothing to blame it on. And this is the case with a lot of our kids. They have parents who are not what people think they are. They work, but it's income deprived. We're gonna talk about economics in Black Milwaukee. People who mama got to work second, third shift, 2 jobs so we can stay afloat.
Right.
And then he's out there and not understanding that motherfucker, you should be at home. This ain't you. Now I know you watch the videos, and I'm saying this because I have a son who I could tell would love to be able to live that life a little bit, but that ain't your life, son. That ain't you damn near a Black Cosby kid. It's not you at all. You hear the stories, you listen to the music, you got cousins, but that ain't you. So there's a lot of us. We got some youngsters out here who are just. I don't want to say poison. And actually I don't want to get stuck talking about the problem. I want to look towards solutions. So I want to say, what do we do to appeal to these little young dudes who will ignore anything positive? You meet the stepdaddy, you meet the real daddy. He said, man, look, man, I work 12 hours a day. I got 6 kids. I done raised him. I've been here his whole life. I don't know what's wrong with little dude. And he just out here. I worked in St. Charles with him. I worked in for the county with him. I worked for the city with him. I said, why is you doing this, man? Your grandmother, and the kids is like, shit, that's what we do in the neighborhood. So I got to put some of it on them, my brother. Not all of it, because I understand that, but man, how do we get these boys to learn accountability again? That's where we'll start at. How do we teach them? How do we get them to even understand what accountability? Because none of them are accountable for anything. You ask them, no, it's somebody else's fault. I ain't do that. He did that. What motherfucker you did? You on camera. Well, you see what dude did? I'm not talking about that motherfucker. I'm talking about you. So let's start there. How do we give our young men some accountability?
Man, it's all in organizing, man. I mean, everybody has a self-interest, right?
Okay.
You got to figure out what their self-interest is, man.
Okay.
Because obviously, they don't give a damn about dying.
No, not at all.
They don't care about living, right? So what can you say to them, man? What can the leadership in Milwaukee say to them to make them do something different? What can you offer them, right? You got to be able to offer them something that they gonna feel like they can't lose.
So then it becomes a situation. It's like it's not what we say to them; it's what we provide for them. because we can't really say nothing to them if we don't have some answers for them, right?
Plain simple, man. You know, we
Right.
did the safe zone and the hood ambassadors. You know, I didn't gain their trust by talking to them. I gained their trust because I look, this is what I got to offer. This I need you to do. This how we gonna do it. I ain't gonna judge you, and I walk that shit out with them. I gave them something, man, something that they could really hold on to. They could feed their family.
Um,
You ain't gotta risk your life shit. You gotta show them something. But yeah, you can't go there with no paper. You the same person that's been lying to their mama and their grandmama this. So they not gonna trust you. And that's what it's about, man.
okay.
Ain't no trust.
I always say this. I always say this because I done worked in the schools, because I done worked in these places. I seen how a lot of y'all kids act when y'all ain't around. Y'all got some badass kids, man. I seen this shit, man. Like, what is wrong with you? Sit your ass down. This motherfucker's off the chain. Once again, these are conversations that we have to have. And a lot of times when you talk to parents and you say, this is how he or she is acting, they'll look at you and say, I don't know what's wrong with this little motherfucker. He act like that at home. I don't know what's wrong with him. So that's why I'm going with the conclusion of I don't know either. I don't know either. Tyson Gassi said the system isn't the answer. We are, however, we can't because we hate each other. Why do black people hate each other?
It's talk.
We don't hate each other, man. We just, you know, see,
We
man,
taught to hate each other.
in the bucket, right? It ain't no crab in the bucket. You just a bucket. And we ain't realized that. Too many egos, man. Too much pride.
I hear you.
Everybody wants to.
I hear you.
It's indoctrinated in.
Go ahead, man. You know, we going to chop it up, man. You know how we do it.
Of course.
Yes, sir.
Love y'all.
All right, my brother.
For
Peace
sure,
and
man.
love.
Peace.
Kamar,
Yeah.
you seem like you was about to drop something in there. I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, you ain't cut me off. I was just saying, hating each other, that's the self-hate that was taught. You know what I mean? We was taught to hate ourselves. They took the love from us. We don't know what it is no more. We don't know how to love each other. The only thing we know how to do is hate.
Right.
And that's why we hate each other.
And our values been intertwined into hate. We got to realize that shit. Like
Yeah.
values have been intertwined into hate to where, now a nigga trying to fuck another dude's girl because it gives him a sense of feeling like he's somebody if he could pull your chick. Or I hear females talking about, ooh, I'm about to wear this outfit because I'm gonna have all the hoes mad at me. So it's like
Right.
they don't even feel like their outfit was worth wearing unless they feel like it's gonna make some females mad out there about. So like I was having this discussion the other day about our values are misplaced. We intertwine our values with hate, and then we put our values into external validation that usually needs uh us to wear value. Like I was having a conversation the other day about Gucci belts and shit like that. I mean, to each their own. But my thing is, if everything that makes you valuable can be put on or took off, that means everything that make you valuable could be snatched from you and taken. And that's what we do. We promote our fake ass value to the outside world, and then when somebody else try to come and snatch our valuable shit, now it's a matter of life and death.
And a lot of that got to do with that self-image,
Right, man.
pride and ego. You know what I mean?
Right.
Our self-image. This is something that we paint up to look like. This is what we want others to view us as. You know what I'm saying? We want somebody to look at. I want them to look, see, he's the hardest thug out here. You know what I mean? And that's what a real man is. And that's a man. You know what I'm saying? But like you say, we out for the wrong shit. We was taught the wrong things. And you know what I mean?
Right. And it goes back to value. Right. What we place our values on. That's why I try to post a lot of Anthony Browder and Afrocentric shit on my page just to kind of allow people to see where we come from. I mean, we're not taught that we're anything. So a lot of people out here don't feel like they anything. So they gotta buy shit to feel like something. They gotta take somebody else's man or woman to feel like something, or they got to catch a body to feel like something. So it's like I said, unfortunately, we've been indoctrinated to intertwine our values with hate and trauma.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly now.
Dre Day told me I was breaking up. Shout out to Dre Day, man.
To intertwine our values
I want to
with
make
hate.
sure my sound is cool. Okay. So we're talking about how we're distracted. Talk about our values, right? Sean Moore said our values are our weaknesses. I talked about cultural norms, and we used to call this the culture of dysfunction. Anytime violence and crime and like wilding the fuck out is the norm, is popular. It's popular to do. It's the thing to do. This is what I'm getting from our young people, that they're doing this shit because they feel like, well, this is what we supposed to do, right? Like this is just what you do in the neighborhood. But I feel like we as black people got to figure out how to impress upon them how important it is to have integrity again, because our kids seem to have lost the understanding of integrity, right? I don't see kids who say, I'm not going to do that because morally, or, I'm not saying they're not out there, first of all, because if you got some good kids and you're like, that motherfucker don't know my babies. Okay, congratulations. Right. I'm saying I've talked to some kids who basically, because of whatever reason, have just kind of came up with a perception that it just don't matter. It don't matter what I do. It don't matter. I don't give a fuck. And it's what we do. This is how it is. And this is what you got to go. None of them are saying no. It shouldn't be like this. So is it a curriculum that needs to be implemented in MPS or in any school? I don't believe it's a social services program that's going to come in here and do this. I do believe that the conversation about economic development in Milwaukee is one that needs to be had very badly. I hear about curfews. I hear about stolies. I hear about a lot of shit, but I've yet to hear about an economic development plan for the city, right? How do we reestablish some sort of economic structure in our community? When, like I say, you have this industrial corridor that runs through the main vein of our city and is vacant and has been for 40 years. You have miles and miles of industrial property that's vacant on the near north side. And we talking about Burleigh Center, North, these neighborhoods where imagine if those businesses were operating, people could literally walk out their house and get a job. Like I'm finna go work at this factory, working this machine shop, I'm gonna be a welder, whatever. I'm gonna make a nice piece of money. I'm gonna be able to do what I do. I don't hear the conversation about that. If it's out there and it's being had, please enlighten me. Hit us up 262-202-5131. Because for real, okay, you gave a curfew, right? We said lock some more kids up, lock them up. We said give them more time, whatever. Ain't nobody said let's get these young boys employed. Let's get them some jobs. I'm talking about these 20.
Do they want them?
There we go, Kamar. There we go. Thank you for asking that question, because I echo that sentiment. Do they want them? Once we establish them, how do we get them to go take advantage of them before our white counterparts come here and take the jobs over them?
Hey, Kev, because whether or not we're establishing jobs for them, there's jobs everywhere. Everybody looking for somebody to work for them.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
So I asked, like, shit, do they want them? Even if we set them up. Like they set up right now, just walk down the street, any busy street, any restaurant, any fast food restaurant. Even if we set them up, everybody hired.
Okay. There's a whole other conversation that I would love to indulge in, and this ain't just for the youngsters, this is for some grown men too. Because listen,
we have a thing called motherfuckers that need jobs too.
Well, we have a thing here called a poverty rate, right? And we make up about 40% of this city, but about 40% of our people live below the poverty line, right? We know that we're income deprived in this city, in which a great majority of your income goes into just getting you somewhere to live, so you can pay the rent, right? $1,200-$1,300 a month. You working 2 jobs just to stay afloat. We're talking about median incomes. We're talking about the average white family makes about $60,000 a year, and the average black family median income is about half of that, maybe even a little bit less at 29.5. That's an incredible disparity. And that's been a continuous thing here for years. Ever since the industrial collapse, that's been a continuous thing here, a consistent thing. And so, yeah, come up with a program, right? Give OVP 8 million more dollars, give them 12 million more dollars, give the YMCA, get a Boys and Girls Club, give all them 13 million more dollars, give them more for more programming. I'm here to tell you a great majority of that money is used up in administrative costs. The top takes they cut off top, they take it from the beginning. A $3 million grant, probably about $150,000 to $200,000 of that grant is only going to get to the people, because the director, the president, the associate director, the office manager, the computer guy, the HR guy, all that shit, that money's gone. So I'm saying, instead of doing that, why not come up with some economic plan where you implement training programs in schools across the board? Right. And if then our kids don't get involved, like Kamar said, and go get the jobs, then it's y'all motherfucking fault. It's just like I say to any grown man, I can't find no job. You ain't looking. Because like Kamar said, there's a job out here. I don't want to
Nigga, you can't
call
be
me what
looking.
you want. I've been called worse. It's all good. Right. There's jobs out here. Right. To hustle is divine. I don't know if niggas used to say that. We used to say that in our neighborhood. To hustle is divine. That's what you do. It should be part of your nature, boy. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. Okay, so let me see. Let me go. Oh shit, I Shine Moore. I thought he was playing poker. Larry, he got his playing. He said, yeah, they want the jobs. He said I didn't have a turnover. I never had enough positions. He said the difference was I met them when they were, you may be doing so and so. I gave them 2 weeks to stop whatever they were doing. Okay. He's talking about what he did in the program. I'm just reading out loud, y'all. He said they take 60%. I make 10 stacks more than my employees. Look, man, we got to listen. We have an economic crisis in our country right now. I don't even know if people paying attention to this shit. Yes. First of all, y'all explain this to me. How we got a chicken wing shortage? Why do we have chicken legs and chicken breasts, but it ain't enough wings? Oh, you motherfuckers got chicken.
Hey, Kev, remember when I first started coming on the show and we used to talk about eating meat and all that type of stuff, and I'd be like, dog, this chicken is fake out here. And I used to say, hey, look how many wings people eat. You consider all the football on every Sunday, all the wings that motherfuckers buy and eat every day that motherfuckers fry and eat. And then you got thighs and breasts out here. Why ain't it way too many breasts? You know what I'm saying? Like all these chickens getting killed for their wings. Like it should be 1 million breasts then that ain't nobody buying.
Right.
Or you know what I'm saying? Like ain't no way in hell we keeping up, man, with all these chickens. That many chickens ain't being born.
There's situations, there's things behind this. There's processing plants, there's a really screwed up, a really, really wacky kind of market right now in America. Economics, the pandemic done a lot of damage, man. And even though to me it was a good time, right? Like I had a great time.
They used the pandemic to do a lot of damage, man.
Okay,
let's put that in it.
Let's say that then.
They used the pandemic
to
cause a lot of damage.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's say that then.
dig it.
I can dig that too. But the reality of it is people was on standstill, right? Like I worked in employment, right? I worked in workforce development, and I worked with a specific group of people, and they were overwhelmingly minority. And I was a job coach.
Okay.
So I dealt with companies that said, listen, we'll give you $17 an hour, no drug tests and benefits, because we so hard up for workers. All you got to do is get online in the morning with Mr. Barnes and I'll interview you and we'll bring you in. And I had people that are poor that told me, I'm not working right now. I'm good. Yeah, man, I'm getting and I was there for 2.5, 3 years. A lot of them never even entertained the idea of getting a job. And my job was to call them every other day. Technically in my system, you're still unemployed. Yeah, I still ain't ready to go back yet though, cuz. Man, I think I'm gonna chill for about another 7-8 months. This is real conversations that I had with people. So
I've had them. I was there 3 years, man, and I used to talk to people who. You mean I got to look for 4 jobs every week? It's like, goddamn, you sitting there watching Maury Povich and shit. Why don't you just go on Indeed and tap 4 fucking buttons to get your weekly check? So you dealing with people who didn't even want to look for 4 fucking jobs a week, or even now, man, I'm still in them areas. I don't work for unemployment anymore, but I'm still in them areas. And you'll talk to people, oh man, I reduce my hours at work because if I make too much, they gonna cut my benefits. It's like, god damn.
Yeah.
So you wanna stay dependent, huh? I can't say this shit on my phone calls, but you hear this shit daily. You hear this shit daily, man.
Yep, that's a mindset to them, man. You know what I mean?
That grasshopper in the jar, they bump their head a few times. You can take the lid off. They never gonna jump that high no more.
Huh. Okay. Very good, Daniel son. Very good. Listen, so now we're gonna piss some people off because now we're straddling the fence. Now we kind of pointing the finger at black people.
We talk about accountability, like you were saying before.
Black people
accountability, right?
we risking saying to black people, this y'all own fucking fault.
Oh no, I mean, in them departments that I was in, they were all across the board. I can't even say all across the board. For the most part, they were white or black. As far as like Hispanics and Asians, I never really came across them with the same mentality. But I've had white people, I didn't go into work because then I would have been at 32 hours, and I know I can't get an unemployment check if I'm working 32 hours. And it's like, well, if the hours were available, we still got to consider that shit, G. But so it's across the board, man. It ain't a color thing; it's a mindset thing. They just got a lot more cushion and shit.
Now we're walking in the grass that I want to walk in because there is a systematic nature to what they've done here, right? Yeah. There is a lack of justice. There is a lack of fairness. There is, there's some disparity, some incredible disparities. And I tell young people this, and I live my life by this. When somebody say, "Well, that ain't fair," life ain't fair. I can't think of any situation that you go into and there's not some sort of adversity or obstacles that you have to overcome in order to succeed or become successful in that endeavor. Nothing is easy. That is part of life, right? Like, so of course a motherfucker gonna throw something in your way when they think you popping. Mm-hmm. Of course there's gonna be some sides that say, oh shit. And especially if you are projecting a lot of potential to affect change, whether it be your own individual life or even in the community. There's gonna be people or organizations that say, no, we got to stop that shit. I think history should have taught us that as black people. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of over the excuses. Listen, I understand the community is treacherous, but I'm kind of over the shit. I'm kind of over, man. I can't I'm kind of over it. I'm like, you can. It requires for you to get up off of your ass and stop wallowing. Stop wallowing in your own self-pity. I'm sorry.
It's time for tough love. We got to do some tough love with our people too, man. Some of our people need some tough love.
Just need the truth.
Get your motherfucking ass up. It's your fault. You keep making dumbass decisions. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and I feel you, but like I said, in those departments in human services that I've been in, it also showed me the fucking dream America was sold, man. Again, black and white. You talk to somebody 64 years old, a year away from retirement, they lose their job because they got fucking degenerative discs in their back from sitting at a desk for 30 years. So, now it's like, well, you don't qualify for unemployment, but you ain't old enough for retirement. So, it's like, I just see how these people were sold this dream of Go to school, get a good job, get that house, picket fence, all that shit.
Right.
And all it did was heap debt upon them, and then they work, get a best year. Like every day, every phone call I take every day is a reminder to use my vitality to find my fucking freedom. Get to a point where I don't have to work before I get to a point where I can't work. Because I'm talking to people who they social security check is making it to where they can only get $20 worth of food stamps.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up out here, and unfortunately, it was a dream sold to a lot of people that they haven't woke up from yet.
Yeah.
And we would be suckers, we would be idiots, we'd be dumbasses if we didn't acknowledge that there's a systematic nature to what has happened to black people in this country. But check this out. We've known about it for a very long fucking time. This shit is not new. This is most of this motherfuckers quote books to me all the time that were written by somebody 70 years ago. Somebody black, somebody who's, you know, influential who said, "Oh, this is what they doing to us." I'm like, 70, 80 years ago, they was having this conversation. We still having the same fucking conversation. So at what point do we say, we know, we get it, we gonna move different? Look, my only criticism of our leadership here in this city, and I'm gonna say this because people in the, you know, you hating on them and this and that. No, it's not even that. Because first of all, you got to understand it's not personal business for me, right? Like you have a job, I got a job, we all got jobs, right? I got a family to take care of. I need for certain shit to be working. I need for certain mechanisms to work smoothly so I can do, then I won't have to wild out and do no crazy shit, right? Okay. So I understand that. And I understand that you have a job to do and you do it and it's complicated and I get all of that. But I'm saying what you've done for this long has not worked. So my only problem with you is that you're not even discussing doing something different. You keep showing me the same fucking movie. I'll be like, man, I want to watch a musical. You show me a shoot 'em up. I say, man, I want to watch a rom-com. You show me a shoot 'em up. I say, damn, can I see some comedy? You show me a shoot 'em up. It's the same fucking movie. I've seen this shit before. Can you please change the channel? Okay. And this is what I'm saying. This is my problem right now with Milwaukee, because I feel like right now we kind of stagnant because we got all these black elected officials all of a sudden. And that's a slick ass glamour job because most of them are controlled by, come on, man. Do I gotta say it? We know who their constituents really are, right? And so it's puppet masters, ventriloquism. It's throwing your voice. It's Willie Tyler and Lester. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Lester, right? My old ass.
Oh man.
And that's what bothers me because I want to see us win. But I keep saying, well, we ain't won in 70 years doing it like this. Why are we still trying to do it that way? How long black people been trying to get cool with white people? How long have we been open to being their friends and really saying, I love all people. I don't see color. Because everybody else see color except for black people. Italians see other Italians. Asians see other Asians. Latinos see other Latinos. Black people be like, I don't see color. What the fuck? Y'all we got the darkest too. How the fuck don't you see color? Okay, so, and I'm not saying that so it can be a division so we can say, no, we don't fuck with them. I'm saying so we can get our own identity and begin to appreciate ourselves and be able to say, no, let's have solidarity. It's cool for us to be us. Let's do us like they do them. Everybody gets to do them except for us. Because we get told if we say something about doing us, you're racist. That's reverse racism. White people don't never say that to Asians. You're a racist Asian. You know, because the Asian will probably say "fuck you" in Japanese or something, like "kung bong." Like,
damn.
All right, I'm a little sick with it sometimes. Radio, man, where do we go from here? Because I really want to know, as black people, listen, we got a lot of people who are waiting right now for the grant money to come out. They waiting on the goddamn gully to fill up. They waiting on because look, we got the city sitting on this COVID money. There's still CDBG money. There's a lot of money that can be distributed to Negroes in the city of Milwaukee. I'm not calling nobody name. I'm saying there's a lot of people saying, nah, we're going to be cool. Because when we call them out and say, man, what's up with this? What's up with that? People be like, nah, it's good. What's good? What's good? What's good in Milwaukee right now? What's good? Somebody tell me. I'm asking a question. What's when people say, no, it's all good. We gonna do this. I feel like even if you're in that mode, you should say, you know what, we have some severe issues, and I'm just trying to work to do my part. Say that to me. Don't say, no, but it's good. We straight. We gonna get it done. When have we gotten it done? What's the good old days? That's what I say. Like my parents, they were great people, but a lot of their norms was fucked up too. Right? You think about it, back then when a man just all out slapped the shit out of his wife. Shut the fuck up and sit down. She said, you better shut your ass up. That's the good old days we talking about. Good old days when you get on the bus and the white dude can say, nigger, get your ass back there. And you go, yes, sir. Oh, them good days. I want to go back to them good days. So once again, I see people breaking their arms to pat themselves on the back about, yeah, we did this and give us our flowers and get it. What have we done? Are our kids really in a positive position right now? Is the future looking bright for them? And I'm not putting this on one individual or one organization. I'm saying black people, all of us collectively. What do we got to be happy about right now in Milwaukee? What's looking good in Milwaukee? Please don't say Juneteenth Day, especially since they done fucked around and took the ice cream off the shelf. I'm boycotting
that ice cream, nigga.
Look, I'm boycotting Juneteenth Day for that shit. Y'all ain't gonna have the ice cream. I'm mad at black people about that shit still.
Oh man.
Hey kid, you gotta be much quicker than that.
Right.
Man.
Nah, man. I'm serious, man. It's if we don't start just saying, you know what, ain't nobody gonna do this for us but us. We got to get away from this victim. Because even though if we can talk about slavery, we can talk about what happened to us in the 50s and all this kind of shit. I don't feel like a victim even then. I feel like somebody who was abused, right? I feel like a victim of someone who was abused, and it's not my fault. It's their fault. I don't feel like, oh, woe is me. I'm such a everybody. Oh, bleeding hearts for me because I had it so bad. No, I feel like, yeah, y'all did that shit. Y'all got it on us one time. It's just like if I go on your block and y'all jump me and beat my ass, right? I'm only a victim while y'all beating my ass. After that, I ain't no victim no more. They got me that day. They call me slipping. Right. That shit's over though. Because next time I come over there, I'm coming for a pound of flesh next time I come back, right? So and I know I hate to use a metaphor that utilizes violence because the timing is bad because violence is so crazy in our community. But I'm just saying, black people, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Joseph Mensah, they're still not going to charge him for Jay Anderson, for the death of Jay Anderson. They just announced today. And this was where we thought this judge had come up with this, oh, we could charge him, still charge him. Joseph Mensah is still working in law enforcement. I think he's in like Waukesha or Kenosha or something now. Like he's basically got a promotion. Joseph Mensah murdered more than one minority. We was in the streets. We want justice. We want this to happen. We want this to happen. And it never came. But we ain't doing shit now about it. When it came out today, it wasn't a rock thrown in Wauwatosa. A motherfucker ain't strike a cigarette lighter on a bus stop in Wauwatosa. Right? I mean, so that spirit is gone. So now the gist is we gonna play along with this system because we got all black people elected. We're gonna say, hey man, y'all be cool. Well, now we're gonna really wait on the grant money. We really gonna get in and we're gonna trust the city with setting up these programs. If that's where we at, let me know because I ain't with the bullshit. I'm not with it because that's the same shit that we've been trying to do forever and it has not worked. I hate to disappoint some of you Negroes. It doesn't work for us in the long term. We got to do it differently. We have to put demands on some economic understanding. I think that's the best way for brothers in the hood to say it. We need some economic understanding around this motherfucker. Money ain't everything, but money does change circumstances, right? It does change kind of the problems you're dealing with kind of change when you get a little money. because it gets to, okay, who's really here for me, who really likes me, as opposed to, damn, I ain't ate in 2 days. Like, see, I'd rather have to make that other decision. I wouldn't want to be sitting around like, we ain't got no lights, we ain't got no heat. I'd rather be sitting around like, damn, I'm paying a lot of money out in taxes. That's one of my fucking problems now. The government's raping me. As opposed to, goddamn, they finna come take my kids. You know, it's different kinds of problems, right? So
Yeah.
I'd rather deal with one than the other, man. I'm just saying. Where we going from here, y'all? Because we already on Outlaw Radio, we backed all the way up off of the politics. We jumped off that, man. Me and Kamara and myself, we got off that motherfucker a couple years ago.
We just get on the politician's ass. We talk about the shit they do and our place in it.
Right. And people say, well, you talk to Tierman Spencer, but Tierman's cool with me on a different level because we just can converse like grown men. I don't, he couldn't sell me a dream either, no more than anybody else could, right? To set me off like, ooh, look what I got in my hand. No, man. So where do we start to build this understanding at, though? How do we get our kids? Because we got to have the youth. The shit they doing right now has to stop. It has to stop, right? Like, there has to be some straightening for our youngsters, especially our young black males, because they going out, man. And they you notice how people are starting to make a mockery of the shit that black, like, now, what is it, the hoochie daddy shorts? What the fuck is going on with the goddamn shorts?
Man, money. I mean, money. Now they can sell shorts again, like they were selling in the 80s. I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing I think of. Like, me as a man, I don't want to put hoochie on anything that I'm wearing because, I mean, I think that's a term reserved for bad bitches, whether man or woman. I think hoochie anything is reserved for somebody who call themselves a bad bitch. So I can't fuck with it, but I do respect the marketing strategy to make fucking little unsellable shorts sellable again.
Well, I feel like there's always some kind of it comes off as a joke, but it's always relating to the feminization of black men. I feel like
everything started as a joke, and that's how it creeps on in. And by the time we realize it was a problem, is after the laughter stopped, but it's still here.
Because we was laughing like a motherfucker at youngsters with these skinny jeans for a minute. Now that's what they wear. We was laughing. Now that's what, because my son be like, no, these too big. What you talking about? They got. I'm like, what them leggings? You can get a yeast infection wearing them pants at school. Right. But there's this emasculation that I feel like, and I always say this is why they play up the lesbianism so much. Not that they care so much about LGBTQ or whatever, but I feel like it's another tool to kind of further defuse black masculinity. Because I do believe that a strong, seriously focused black man can, in terms of having a family, he can take care of business, and he can support his woman where she needs to be supported, and vice versa. And you'll have a complete kind of thing instead of a one-sided thing, right? Like, so I feel like they know, somebody somewhere has figured out that if we keep the black men in a certain position, in a certain state of subjugation, their community will never go anywhere.
Yeah, it's been known even since the biblical times. There's a verse that says, unless the strong man be bound. If the strong man be bound, then you can have access to his wife, his kids, and his crib. So, I mean, that's biblical. But even in modern, like, warfare and tactics and shit like that, they always understood that healthy masculinity is always a threat to oppression. So even in the Willie Lynch letters, it was saying take the biggest, strongest, unruliest nigga, tie him up to 4 horses and have them be ripped apart in front of the masses so that they see what happened to a motherfucker that decide to stand up for itself. It's going to make all the other men cowards, and it's going to make the women oppress their male children out of fear of the same thing happening to them. So it's always been a plan, been a plot.
Male lions kill the cubs when they take over a pride.
Oh yeah, when they take over pride, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like the law of nature.
I do want to say too, I don't believe in the Willie Lynch letters. I think we've proven that they actually didn't exist. But I get it. I get
But the tactics and the
right,
mindset, yeah, they always say he might have been a fictional person, but
right.
that system is real as hell.
Oh no doubt. What you're talking about is what they would, whatever that who made up that myth. That's the best urban legend we ever had, as opposed to some other shit I didn't heard that we believe in. So you know what I mean? Why not? You know, say you're gonna believe in something, might as well believe in me.
Yeah, right.
I get that, but no, and you're right, and that's kind of like what they do with taking. Once again, see, you got to understand the double, like it's a two-headed snake for how they come at us. Because if you
Mhm.
wilding out in the community and people follow you, they remove you. If you standing up and being positive in the community and people follow you, they remove you.
Mhm.
Right? It's so as a black man, once again, I understand that this is a perilous kind of trip, right? It's just a lot of shit that could happen. But I'm saying, why are we as men? You should understand that this is a rite of passage. This is what it's meant to be. This is what I got to do. Whatever sacrifices are involved in it, this is what I'm required to do. I feel like this in terms of my family, like this. Okay, whatever come with this in terms of what I have to sacrifice, that's what I'm gonna do. So if I don't have, you could have a Benz truck right now if you didn't do this or that for your kids. That's cool. I'd rather have my kids straight than have a fucking Benz truck. What I
Right.
need to do is get to the point where I can have a Benz truck and my kids straight.
Right.
Right. So I need to change what I'm doing so it can so I can reap more. Right. I gotta sow more so I can reap more. So, but I don't see us thinking outside that box like that more often than not. What I see is complacency. I feel like a lot of people like this shit. In our community, I feel like a lot of people enjoy the dysfunction just to be able to say, man, I'm from so and so and so. Man, I'm off so and so and so. You know how that shit is. It's like, oh yeah, it's all fucked up over there. And that's like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, nigga, yeah, I'm from the roughest motherfucking place on earth. Good. Motherfucker. How has that shit helped you?
I think there's people who don't know better.
Okay.
Then there's people who don't believe they can do better or deserve better. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, that dysfunction and shit. There's people who was like, no, I'm out that hood. I got out that hood. I made something of myself so I can go back to that hood and be of impact.
Right.
Then there's other people, but unfortunately, the person who chose not to leave that hood is going to ultimately have an issue with the person who left the hood and trying to come back with positivity, because a lot of times, like they say, your biggest haters are the people that are from your origins, because a lot of times when y'all started with in the same slums, when y'all started with the same resources, and you managed to make something of yourself, your success shed light on their incapability or lack of gumption.
Yeah.
I don't even know gumption the word. I just
Nah,
heard that shit
right.
growing up.
You
But
tried that shit. You tried.
but gumption,
No,
you know. So a
yeah,
lot of
you
times,
tried,
motherfuckers,
man.
they get killed on the same block they was raised in, because when they come back successful, it just made the nigga that are oftentimes they were friends with, shared a blunt with. Oh, this nigga think he's somebody now because he done left. You know. So it
There's
is,
that.
yeah,
There's
it's
that.
that
That's
shit.
what we were talking about a couple weeks ago when I said habitual line steppers. When I told you about you can be on some positive shit here and be like, I'm focused, I'm doing what I need to do. There's some bitch sitting on the other side of the room talking about, look at that motherfucker. Yeah,
I
man,
remember when.
that motherfucker she owed me $10, man. You know what I'm saying? My mama used to feed that nigga, man. What is he supposed to do? Write you a check? What you want him to do? You want him to come say, hey, man, you want my shoes? You want my watch? Here, man, take my car keys. You can have my truck. Right? No. No, and even if he did that, then the story would be the next day. Yeah, I stripped that nigga in the club, man. Made him give all this shit up. That's the kind of spirit that we have to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to figure out how to flush this out of our community. And it's because it's so prevalent. Once again, I see in our city people who enjoy it because they feel like if I don't abide by any rules, then that means I'm free. You know, a lot of people feel like I don't get no fuck. I'm free. I have people
Mm-hmm.
tell me all the time, you working man, you the fool. And I'm like, no, motherfucker, you don't own a business. You the fool because you broke. Motherfucker, I got to drop you off at home while you talking about my working ass.
Right.
Okay? So we have some of us have, it's kind of like a twisted mentality where we feel like the only way we can be free is to say fuck it all in general. Because if I, what's that saying? What's that saying? When someone always get hurt when you care. That's what they say. That's Jasmine Sullivan. She says someone always gets hurt when you care. And so people feel like, well, I don't want to get hurt. So I'm
Right.
just like, fuck it. It's whatever.
It's better to not try than to try and fail type shit. And that's what I was saying. A lot of people feel either they can't do better or don't deserve better. So it's like you said, fuck it. I'm just here. I'm gonna make the most of it. I'm gonna have fun. You know, it's say when people lack purpose, they seek entertainment and distraction.
Okay.
So a lot of times people out here being overly entertained and distracted because they not moving in that purpose that they feel deep down in their soul tugging at them.
Right.
Justice for Jay Anderson, man. Justice for Jay Anderson. I can't say it enough times. Justice for Jay Anderson. Mensa, it's a special place in hell for a Negro like you. And I understand you African. You have no identity with us. I understand to us, to you, we ain't shit. But for both of the young brothers that you murdered, for both of the young brothers that you murdered, your time will come as well. I hope you don't. And I know them white folks embrace you. I hope you understand why they embrace you. They embrace you because you one of them individuals who they could point towards a nigga and say, shoot him, and you'll blow our head off. If they say, well, there's a leader who's making a lot of noise on the north side, we're gonna make you a special investigator. You go in there and eradicate the problem. He shoot you and walk away without a second thought. I don't want to hear he's a law enforcement officer. Kiss my ass. Justice for Jay Anderson. We see that they're gonna bring the Republican National Convention here in 2024. I know that they had planned on doing a Democratic convention, and then COVID came in and just shut everything down, right? So, but they got millions of dollars now. So the Republicans are gonna come to 40% Black Milwaukee, right? And this is where we don't really do the political party affiliation, right? But I just look at how they try to jockey for our vote, right? Like so, there's gonna be a lot of promises made leading up to this convention, and Republicans do it right now. They'll promise you some shit, but they'll promise you some shit and tell you what the Democrats ain't doing for you, because they assume you don't know as a Black person what the Democrats don't do for you. They feel like we're all glamour, right? Like, so you're gonna treat me like I'm a fifth grader, even though I'm fucking 55 years old. Well, since the Democrats have been in power, the homicide rate has risen. Well, it rose under Republicans too, motherfucker. You have a plan, right? Like, so it's one of those things we need to have these conversations with the political parties as well and tell them collectively, neither one of you will get our votes until you come up with some things that can bring change to our community. We ain't gonna just be blindly loyal to one of you motherfuckers. I ain't down with the horse. I ain't down with the donkey. Right? I want you and your party. I'm gonna give you some homework. You write them a note. Go back to your meeting and bring jobs and give it to them and say, now you going on your way. And you do the same thing to Democrats as well. I don't want to hear all that bullshit. I don't want you to make no promise. I want you to come to me when you say, you know who's behind that $2 million facility that was built right there on North Avenue that's employing about 600 people right now? We were. And I say, oh, okay, y'all party did something. That still don't mean I'm gonna vote for you, but at least I know what you did, right? Like, so, and I'll be able to make up my mind. So once again, it's a question that we have to have in our community about where we gonna put our vote at. Are we now got our first Black mayor who happens to be a Democrat? So did that show and prove to us that Democrats like Black people? Is that what that taught us? Right? Like, so now that the Republican National Convention is going to come here and potentially bring millions of dollars in tax revenue and benefits for the city, should we say now the Republicans show us some good people? Because how much of that money is really going to trickle down to us in the first place? First of all, we got to ask that question. But more importantly, how are they going to keep up the gentrification to build up downtown until the Republicans get here? Because if they said, well, damn, we couldn't even have a Bucks game without them niggas acting wild. Can't have this during the convention. So what's your plan for that area around there? What's going to happen? Because downtown is surrounded by the hood. I don't know if people even notice the way the shit's set up, right? It's the hood. What you leave from downtown, you probably will get your shit split because you're going to have to walk right through damn near the pit of the city. So conversations that need to be had, are we having them? If you're out there and you're having these conversations, please hit me up and let me know, right? Because I would love to have them with you. and I would love to be informed at what's going on, man. I wanted to talk to y'all about DL Hewley and Monique. Did y'all see this shit?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
We always talk about distractions, and if this ain't an attempted distraction, these two comedians, black comedians, arguing about their contract, who was supposed to go before who, right?
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I think people feel a certain way when it comes to Monique in terms of black women, because I heard DL Hewley say something very smart. He says she tries to weaponize black femininity because anytime she doesn't get her way, she rides on. Are you just trying to treat me like that because I'm a black woman? Right? But on the other side, people say, no, but you got to support the sister. You got to protect sisters. Come on, do you know any details about this? Or like, because I know you always say the black woman is God. So where
No,
you
I
at?
don't have no details about it, but I mean, everybody got their point of view.
Right. What you think about the DL Hewley Monique shit?
You know, I mean, okay, according to what you just said, that's as much as I know. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying,
Cool.
what you just said. But I mean, he can say that. I mean, everybody got a right to their opinion. But this is what I will say.
Okay.
You have to be mindful of how people feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because the way they feel comes from a certain perspective. You know
Right.
what I mean? So the way she feel about her, you know what I mean? We don't know what she done been through in her life. You dig what I'm
Right.
saying? So for him to say she wrong out there and put that out there, you know what I mean? That really is like fighting against her fight. You know what I'm saying? He really don't have a place for it, but he has an opinion.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying?
Hmm. So this is an issue about supposedly she produced. It's about who contract was what. First of all, this is
Mm-hmm.
a situation where we say this shouldn't even been settled in the media, right? Like this should have been an issue that both of them been in the game over 30 years, and they're both professionals. They should have been able to just say, "Hey, what's going on with the contract?" At a certain point, a phone call should have been made, right? So I get what you're saying about understanding how she feels. Even with that said, she ethered DL Hewley. She came out and made her whole show.
Yeah, her whole set
Yeah.
was
See, that's what I'm
It,
saying. I
bringing it
don't
to
know
the
nothing about the
forefront.
situation. I just
it's
knew
all
what
good,
you told me.
right?
So
It's all
it couldn't be handled in the back meeting because her whole set was about how D.L. Hewley was being a bitch. That's what she was saying. She was supposed to headline, but D.L. was saying, according to her,
right.
was saying that if he ain't the headliner, he ain't doing a show or some shit like that.
You're right. That's the
So
gist
so
of it. Yeah.
yeah. So once again, so her whole set was I was supposed to headline, but DL acted like a bitch and got his way. So DL just rebutted like, damn, me, Netflix, Tyler Perry, like, so we are the problem type shit.
Right. Did you see her set?
Yeah, she was, but she's always been like that. I mean,
She's
honestly,
she goes, we talking about she's talking about your wife is a bitch because she sucks a coward dick, you gay, your name is down low, you hoe ass mall guy. I'm like, ain't
yeah,
no
she was
coming back
upset.
from that. There's
She was
no
upset.
coming back from that, right? Like it's like, whoa, for real. And like he ain't even, it just happened. Right? It just happened. It's not like this been going on for two. No, this just happened. That was her whole set. She
Uh-huh.
absolutely snapped. She went black on this man. And so I'm just like, damn. But it to me, once again, it shows that's why women now they don't. I guess the gist is to not really respect a black man. Fuck him, whole ass nigga. Yeah, you gay nigga. Yeah, you suck this and you. I mean, man, if you listen to some of the stuff she said, like I'm like, damn, that's like this ain't comedy no more. Okay, so you know how you felt the first time you heard Tupac say, "That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker." I said, "Damn, this deeper than rap right here." I didn't even have to hear the rest of the song. Didn't even matter. I said, "This some other shit."
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck going on here? It's the same kind of energy. So, and once again, I think with so much going on, the fact that both of y'all is playing to a sold out crowd in Detroit of black people who just want to come and laugh and
Right.
support what you do. This is what they do. And I gotta say her because she's the one who came out with the venom, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
once again, I respect what Kamar said because then later on, because I've been following the shit, I be telling y'all, man, I be having time for the bullshit sometimes, right? Like so I be following a lot of shit, right? So I seen her husband talking about how she was molested and how her brother molested her, and then he allowed his friends to molest her. And so what
Damn.
she learned early on is that, and there was nothing said or done about it. So the lessons that she took from that was that she from now on will have to stand up for herself no matter what, even when nobody else would. I kind of felt like that was bullshit though, because you 50. That shit happened when you was little. I listen, there,
It's
there's a
it's so
right
many
wrong way.
traumatized people out here though, man. Like I honestly, I'm in a bunch of groups where like it's supposed to be mature people having discussions about hot topics. And there's so many women in that group, and I'm not trying to downplay their pain or anything like that, but they come from such a perspective of pain that everything is misogyny. Oh, this is misogyny. Like, damn, this one
Right.
misogyny. Like them, like that one nigga that was always saying everything is racist. Man, that's racist. Man, he gave me my food first because I'm a black man. Like, shit like that. Now there's a lot of women who this is misogyny. This is everything. And I can't say, I mean, your perception is your reality, and your reality shapes your perception. So there's a lot of traumatized ass people out here that see through that filter of pain, and it will always be what they think it is because they've hardwired themselves to receive that.
I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not sympathetic to your pain if you allow it to make you continuously cross lines
Right.
and be disrespectful. You got one time to disrespect me and then come back and say, Kev only did that because, you know, my daddy kicked me in my ass when I was I don't want look, I ain't your daddy, right? And I want you to know I'm not your punching bag. You don't get
Right.
to do that to me, right? You gotta compare, you gotta figure out how to deal with your shit, right? Because we all got some shit in our closet that we
Right.
could borderline snap about, right? If I can hold mine down, you can hold yours down. I'm not accepting that as an excuse. What I felt like she should have done, this is me. I felt like she should have came out today and said I was very upset. And y'all got to understand, I'm proactive about protecting and standing up for myself. And so I apologize for some of the things I said because I realized they were disrespectful. But I think me and him, or him and I, need to sit down and have a talk and kind of fix this. And I apologize for doing it the way I did. I feel like that's the best way to go about it, as opposed to trying to double down on it, talking about, oh no, no. Like I heard her like, come on, man, like
Hey,
no.
but what ain't comedians going through a thing right now where they can't say what they want to say?
Yeah, we've talked about that, right? Is that the issue? So she don't got to say sorry.
It can be.
Okay.
My question
It
though
depends, like I
is,
said, depend on the perspective.
did the headline?
Like she should be able to say what she want to say.
Them sound like jokes though, Kamar. Your
Yeah, I
wife,
mean, hey
your wife
man,
should be ashamed of herself because she sucks the
It's like a
college
comedy.
dick. That's
hey man,
what's the
hey,
punchline?
hey
Now,
man,
did it fuck up her
hey.
payday? Like not being the headliner, did that impact her pay or did it just hurt her pride? That's what I'm curious about.
I don't know. Kamar, you was about to drop one. What was you finna say? Uh oh. I think did we lose it? Oh
Oh,
no.
he froze for a second.
Oh no, I was just in agreement, so I ain't say nothing.
Oh no, no. Oh, so I mean, I get what you're saying about perspective and whatnot, but to me, this is one thing where it's too many different variations, and I feel like this is how people get to skirt responsibility because it's always somebody saying, "Yeah, but you got to understand his perspective." This motherfucker just bust my head to the white meat. I don't. I'm not interested in this excuse. I'm more worried about this wound leaking brain matter from my skull. Like I feel like
Right.
ain't no parameter. So every time somebody in it, and this is what we do. A lot of people do this with our kids. A lot of people
Yeah.
do this with our kids where they wilding out and you say, well, he dealing with this or she dealing with that. No, he or she need to know she needs to sit her ass down. I ain't got nothing to
Right.
do with what your mama did last night. We'll help you out with some ways to kind of deal with that and get you some outlets and get you some therapy, whatever. But you lashing out against the wrong people.
Right.
Right. And I think we need to say that to individuals. Like, I get what you're saying, but you was wrong.
Right.
Like, I feel
Right.
like even as her husband, he should have said, baby, I see you, I feel you, I'm always stand with you. Yeah, you came at the man wrong. You know what I mean? It's like you with your woman somewhere and she get into it with another dude. And when you try to step in and say, hey, no, baby, I got it. He's cool. Let me holler at this brother. And she, no, fuck this bitch ass nigga, hoe ass nigga. Yeah, spit on him. Yeah, hoe ass, fag ass. Now you finna, dude, would you chill? Like, you're not allowing me to protect you. I'm gonna need some protection. You about this these niggas 12 deep. I done already peeped it. You ain't peeped it. Who gonna get stumped out behind this shit?
Right.
Me, right? We ain't gonna hit no girl, but we beat the fuck
Kevin.
out of dude. Right? And then when your ass is broke up, she leave you.
Right.
I'm just not feeling you no more. We can't go out and dance and like we used. Both of my legs is
I
broke.
can't stay with nobody that can't protect me.
Right.
You can't even pick me up no more. Well, that's because I got 2 torn rotator cuffs from fucking with
Right.
you and Mr. J's, right? Shout out to all the black women, right? I know they hate my ass. Like, we can't stand that. Fuck his cash out.
I mean,
Shit. But no, before we get out of here, I gotta talk to both of y'all about this because I gotta roll because I gotta go get my boy. But I said it last week and I said I was gonna review it. The 8 Ball and MJG versus UGK versus. Did both of y'all see it?
yep.
I did.
Okay.
You know I saw it, man.
I got to get everybody's opinion on it. Because I one thing I said is in the beginning, I said I don't know how Bun B is gonna pull this off without Pimp C. But he did it. And what I peeped was Bun wasn't doing a lot of his verses on songs. He was doing Pimp's verses.
Yeah.
Right. Which was a good strategy. But I don't think there's a winner here. I think both of those groups win.
No.
And 2 hours back to back, just going songs. And what I do also realize is we smoked a lot of weed in the 90s because the music was hella slow. Because I was listening to some 8 Ball MJG songs, like, and I used to love this. I used to be perpetually fucking geeked. But I thought it was great though, man. I wish it felt kind of low budget because I felt like they should have done what everybody else did and bring different people in. And I heard the dude on YouTube saying, well, UGK didn't remix. 8 Ball and them didn't remix no songs, didn't bring out features. They did actually do one. This is my only complaint about the whole battle. In the middle of the night, off of MJG's No More Glory album, best songs they ever did together. I do realize on the remix they brought Twister in on it later on. Never rocked that version. The original version is super classic, and they brought Twister out to do that shit. And I was like, this is horrible. That was my only complaint about the whole battle. And they didn't do cocaine in the back of the ride from Too Hard to Swallow. What you think about it, Rail?
Man, first off, those I posted my stat from 2 years ago when Versus first came out that I was praying for an 8 Ball MJG versus UGK battle. So, it was everything I prayed for. But what they said was, I think they had like 4 days to put it together. I really wish that they treated them like the legends they were and gathered them enough time to what feature wouldn't have said, hey dog, I'm gonna be there for you when you everybody would have been there to do their feature. So the fact that they threw it together in 4 days, then the sound man wasn't on his shit. Like it showed they level of professionalism and expertise to work through that shit. Cause they was thrown a lot of bullshit and they still made a iconic night of that shit. And just like Bun B said, I know y'all thought I was gonna have a lot of people out here doing Pimp C parts, but can't nobody do Pimp but Pimp.
Right.
And we was talking about that, like, damn, how he gonna pull that off? But he pulled it off perfectly. The only thing I really wish is that I wish Bun B did a lot more of his shit. Well, it ain't disrespectful. I wish Bun B did a lot more of his younger verses, man. But when he did like Tossed Up or the shit where you see the real Bun B, the young Bun B was a beast with them lyrics. He did his lyrics from back in the day, but he said it fucked up his cardio.
You said read a book, you illiterate son of a bitch.
Man, Bun B has verses for days, man.
Yeah. Kamar, what you think about it?
I thought it was dope, man. I thought it was dope, and through it, you could see the pain in Bun B, man.
Yeah, you could.
You could see the pain, man. You know what I mean? And it really felt like that was the only thing. Like, goddamn, man. Like, it was sad.
Yeah.
It was bittersweet.
Right.
It's what it was. for
Yeah.
me. It was bittersweet. I mean, I rolled all the way through it. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? But man, it just seemed like every joint, like it seemed like you could hear Pimp talking in the middle, like jacking with everybody. You know what I mean? Say man, look at here, man. You know what I mean? It just seemed like you could hear it. You know what I mean? And you could see the pain in Bun, man.
Yeah, it was a couple points where he was actually a little choked up at certain points.
Yeah.
When it was kind of talking about some of the memories and stuff, and I could see where and it was one part in particular. And I was thinking about it. I can't remember it, but I want to ask the question of, we got to understand that, yeah, we could have tried to get a lot of those cats who did some of those classic songs, but some of them motherfuckers, where the fuck is they? Where's Crime Boss? Well, I was actually in conversations with Mr. Mike for a while, and he and I were just kind of conversing on Instagram. He's supposed to come on the show, but I I don't. You do friend or foe. Big Mike is out here and available. Like, have, especially since Big Mike had one of the best verses on the song. But I understand.
Yeah, he did.
But to go back to what Rail said about Young Bun, see, to me, Bun has never been the same without Pimp C's beats, right? Like, because I've heard a lot of other cats rap over Pimp C's beats, and yeah, okay, it's fine, but I've never heard it. Don't sound as good, And I feel the same about Bun B. I hear him rap on other people's beats, but I'm kind of like, and it ain't the same when you, so yeah, Young Bun B from Super Tight and Too Hard to Swallow and from Riding Dirty.
Man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, positively. Even their last two albums, the double
Full
album,
of Kick Dough. I mean, man.
Oh my god!
Like, I remember them old masterpiece, like them Getty Green. Like, my uncle had all them compilations. Like, that's how I got put up on UGK. Was like them Master P compilations and
South Hustler.
Yeah, man.
Laid out on the floor,
man. Shit like that. So I wanted to hear that Bun B, but I understand he older now. You need a lot of wind to do that wordplay he used to do back in the day.
Well, you can't just do because he did murder. But see, you can't do them all because, first of all, you want to give Pimp's verses. You only have so much time, so you want to make sure you do Pimp's verses. But I don't think he could have, and I agree with you in the cardio aspect. For him to do Pimp verse and then do what he did, what he would do on the track, he probably had to sit down and be like, yeah, I would agree with that, man. But it brought back a lot of memories and songs that I have that ain't been on my playlist in a while. Where I said, "Oh, I used to listen to that shit every day."
Right.
Yeah, it was definitely a win for old nigga rap, right? Like. That was for us, and that's why it take. I noticed it take them older crowds a little bit longer to get into this shit. They be shit, nigga. It's 9:30. I got to get up in the morning. I got to go to work and shit.
Right.
There's some old people in there, but that's our music, though, man. That's from our youth, man, and we supported that music. But it was great, man. I thought it was dope, man.
Yeah, it was.
I did enjoy the Karis one, Kane. Versus, I'm not a big versus fan. Like, I don't, because I think the spirit of competition is lost in a lot of them. But I thought that one was one of the more beautiful ones, just because and they was both just so they was respectful. Wasn't no whole shit. Wasn't no, nobody wasn't taking no shots. It was like, no,
right.
And they got a lot of stories of getting money together. So that you can tell that they done made a lot of money together, like doing shows and songs. So
them the ones I like to see when it's not a versus. Just like they were saying, this ain't a versus. This is a celebration.
Right.
Or just like when it's camaraderie, like I love that Wu-Tang one. Like, and I wasn't really even a big Wu-Tang fan, but I love the verses where there's a brotherhood, like the Earth, Wind, and Fire Isley Brothers one. God, it was just all the ones where there's a camaraderie and ain't none of that silly shit,
Right. I feel like you got to if we're gonna do it like this, we got to break it down into categories. I feel like you got to get like a DJ Quick versus a Dr. Dre. I feel like you got to get like a Devin the Dude versus, I would say Devin the Dude versus like somebody like Snoop. Who else rap about getting high, right? Like we need to, I feel like we need to do like Max against Max, players against players, gangsters against gangsters, right? I still think Face and Jay-Z should go at it. I don't think it's anybody else for Jay-Z to go at it with besides Face, right? Since Pac is gone, I think because people think, well, Face ain't got enough songs. Don't be stupid. Face will start on his catalog, and you'll be like, "Oh shit, I forgot about this shit." That's what I was. I was sitting there.
I listen to Face every day.
Man, trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you. The question still stands, man. Where do we go from here? Very serious question. I know we ain't gonna change the world with a podcast, and we understand that. I really just want to entertain a conversation. I was hoping people would just kind of tell me what they want to do, but I don't think anybody really has the answers right now. That's the truth. And that's why I'm not really mad at nobody who's trying something, right? I might say, well, I don't think that's gonna be it, but I ain't gonna shit on them. I'm gonna say I totally understand. At least you trying something, man, right? Just acknowledge that you ain't, finna save the world. Just don't tell me I can park Lake Michigan. We can go on over to Michigan, Detroit, and take a no. Hey, I'm just one man trying. I'm doing my best, man. I'm trying to play my role. Kamar, what you got coming up this weekend? I hope you enjoyed yourself in Vegas. We didn't get to talk about, well, not that we would have talked about what you did, but you
right, man. What happened in Vegas? Stay in Vegas.
right. I was naked in the casino. I didn't know how I got there.
Nah, man. I got a couple pop-ups this weekend. One at Dior Gallery Saturday from 2 to 6, I believe. Yeah, 2 to 6, and then another one at 5117 North 37th Street Sunday. I'll be there from 10 to 3, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, the next week I got a lot of stuff going on. I'll probably wind up going live.
Okay, for sure.
I gotta be watching for that one. Real now.
I'm talking about going live on the show.
Oh, just let me know. Just hit me up.
Yeah.
Just let me know.
Okay.
Just hit me up. We make that happen with the gypsiness. Rail, you I keep telling you, man, with your gardening thing, you own to something there, because we're looking at these chicken wing shortages and all these food shortages now. Now it's really time, because I don't know if people know you can actually raise your own chickens in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I plan on it.
You can have chickens in Milwaukee.
Hey, Real. My garden is coming along, man.
That's fly as hell,
I saw some fruits of my labor today, man. I saw some peppers out there.
It feel good as fuck, don't it, man?
Man, I saw some peppers out there today, man.
Can't nothing reciprocate. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. This gardening thing is something really special to it. Like I gardened a long time ago, but I never did it myself.
Man, yeah.
It's dog. Listen, man. It's a spiritual thing.
It's therapy, G.
Listen to me, man. Mind, body, and soul. You know what I mean? It's fulfilling to it all. For one, you stimulating your mind, because you thinking, you got to think, like, how am I going to lay this stuff out? How am I planning?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? All this, so your mind is getting some action out there. Then you out there physically in the dirt working. You know what I mean?
Right.
So your body getting some work. You in this dirt. You getting these electrons out the dirt.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you feeding your body with it too. And then your soul is peaceful.
Exactly.
You feeding your soul, man. You know what I mean? So you actually putting your mind, body, and soul out there.
Man, it's fly as hell.
That's you out there in that garden.
It's fly as hell, man. And it teaches
that's
you.
Dope, man. And I ain't know that until this year.
Hell yeah. And that's what I tell people, man. If you feel like, for me, depression always happened when I felt stuck. When I either felt stuck in life, stuck in a role, something like that. But when you grow some shit, it's visual confirmation of progress. You know, every time you come out there, you see an extra motherfucking leaf on that thing. It's visual confirmation of progress. Like,
you get happy and shit.
What my garden taught me is that you can't rush shit. Everything happens in its season. No matter how much you fertilize or water something, that fruit ain't gonna come till it's that season to come.
It's supposed to come. Right.
But it also teaches you to appreciate the good days and I ain't even gonna say bad days. It teaches you to appreciate the sunny days and the rainy days, because you now understand that even those rainy days contribute to your harvest. You know what I'm saying? If every day was a sunny day, motherfuckers would starve because of droughts. You need them rainy days, because that's where the nourishment come in at. So it's fly as hell, G.
I appreciate the rain now. I wake up in the morning and look to the sky like, is it gonna rain today?
Right. Ooh, my garden about to eat.
I was in Vegas, man. I was thinking about watering my garden, man. I gotta get back to water my garden.
Right, man.
As soon as I got back, I ain't even unpacked, man. I went right outside, grabbed the water hose, and I was out there with it.
Yeah,
it told you it rained while you was gone, right?
It didn't rain, man. It didn't rain while I was gone.
It sounded like we all getting old. But I do believe I think we need to invest in that because that's part of doing for self, right? Like if it
For
ain't no way,
sure.
we gotta grow our own chickens, man. We gotta grow our own vegetables.
You can't fight against a system you dependent on. So the first thing is becoming sovereign and be able to produce for yourself. Like I not only garden, I'm also teaching myself how to forage. I'm teaching myself what plants that grow in abundance already that folks told you was a weed, like a dandelion. A dandelion is one of the most nutritious plants you could fuck with. You could eat the leaves as greens. You get iron, calcium, magnesium. You could brew the root into tea. It's a diuretic. It help you, help you create bile to cleanse your liver. You could fry the yellow flowers like fried green tomatoes. So we was always
Miss Venus make oils with her flowers.
Oh, okay, yeah, but they convinced us this shit was a weed. They had us poisoning our fucking lawns with Roundup that's giving people lymphoma and shit. So we gotta learn how to garden, but we also have to learn how to forage and identify what native plants are already around. Because, like I said, people always talk about revolution and getting ready for war. The bottom line is, even if we went to that shit and we can't produce for ourselves, within a week, all they got to do is stop our supply chain and we starve the fuck out. So gardening is the basis for any kind of self-sustainability and building of a nation.
Right.
Yeah.
Once again, it has to start somewhere. The conversation has to be had. Action has to be taken. What I don't want people to feel is content or complacent. And I also don't want people to feel helpless. You gotta understand, man, you only helpless, you ain't helpless until you stop fighting. Right.
Exactly.
Because as long as you fighting and trying, something's gonna happen. You might not get to where you want to be, but you'll get close to it. And then you can figure out some things along the way that might be able to help you. All I'm saying is we got to make some important decisions because these next few years are going to be very crucial in terms of Black Milwaukee. And that's just real talk. And you have to look at the position you're in right now and say, I need to build on this. I don't care where you at. If you thinking, oh, I got money, I'm good. You need to get more because it's a motherfucking rainy day coming. And for myself, I'm more motivated to dig in now to say, you know what, I'm gonna have to figure this thing out economically, financially, because I need to really empower myself. Right, I got to put some more guns on my holster. Right, so I got to put some more holsters on my belt. So I'm serious when I say, where do we go from here? And because that needs to be our spirit of, please don't tell me about something we've been doing for a long time that has not worked. Let's talk about something new. Let's put a innovation to it. Let's change it. And I'm not even revolution. Come on, man. We so far away from even the ability to even entertain that thought. It's ridiculous.
Right.
Right now, Milwaukee has waved a very, very white flag. Our community is waving this flag, man. It's a done data. Listen, I don't want to hear it. When I see as many people sitting around now saying, well, fuck it, we just gonna go with the system. We can't beat it. That spirit of revolution and protest is gone, but it's okay because it'll come back, right? It'll come back. But I'm seeing right now what's going on. I hope we don't get into the point of thinking that we got all these Black politicians and they're gonna save us because at the end of the day, they Black, but they're still politicians. Gotta understand that. That's the devil's game. That is the devil's game, bro. We can't win in that game. The only thing we can do is equip ourselves to fight. It's all about fighting, right? And so until we do that, we're gonna be stuck on stupid. Shout out to everybody who's out here in the community trying to do something positive, whatever it is, man. I don't want to ignore your contribution or discount your efforts. I'm just saying that you need to join with somebody who needs to join with somebody who needs to get with somebody who needs to join with somebody so that we can make it a chain reaction. Your positivity leads to some more positivity, which leads and so on and so on and so forth, man. I actually love being a person of color, and that's why I take it so personal. I'm a very proud man of color. I think being Black is the tightest shit ever. But like that meme says, it's lit as fuck, but it's dangerous, right? And so I want to remove some of the dangers from it and big up the benefits, man. Everybody got a role to play, man. Just know your role, man, because either you part of the problem or you part of the solution. I may or may not do Outlaw Nation tomorrow night, depending on how I feel. I might just take a day off, but we'll be back next week, no doubt, on Mondays. And I got a lot of stuff coming up too. I don't even want to talk about it. Once again, we ain't gonna talk about it. We're just gonna do it. Got a lot of stuff coming up. I got some phone calls from some people. Say, oh shit, okay, that's where we going with this. So you'll see it. We're gonna show you better than we can tell you, man. Kamar, Real, thank y'all for coming, man. Thank you for your
For sure, man. Oh, I just wanted to say real quick, My book now is in 2 stores. If you're looking for it, it's at Personality at the Silver Mill Plaza, and then also at Honeybee Sage and Wellness Apothecary on 91st and Lisbon. So I'm getting
Yeah.
closer to making shit happen, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to family. Shout out to my cousin up there. I'm glad she put you on. She know what I'm talking about. If they say it, you know, man. You either part of the problem or you part of the solution, man. Try to figure out your lane. Try to play your role, man, and just be cool with being who you are. Don't try to be no more or accept nothing less.
Sure.
Then you get to the point where you're like, I still don't know where I'm at, Kevin, and you know what we gonna tell you. Figure out whether your criticism of the community outweighs your contribution, because if it does, I would think in that case, you're a coon. I would think Monday night, man. Peace and love, man.